Hello and welcome back to Holt Hanley Weather. Today I'll be giving an update on the winter storm that's moving through the south. Alright, so over the next couple days there's going to be a winter storm that's moving through the south, bringing mostly rain, but actually some snow to some places down there. And you'll see that's because there's a nice trough bringing down some Arctic cold air. So what I like to do when I'm making a forecast, I like to get a big broad picture of what the overall atmosphere and weather pattern is doing, and then I like to narrow it down to the actual snowfall, rainfall totals for specific locations. It's actually called the forecast funnel. If you want to learn more about that, I've made a video about that in the past. So let's take a look at the 500 millibar temperatures and winds. This is showing right now, you can see that trough that I was talking about yesterday that I had isobars, lines of constant pressure, on the west side of the trough. That means it's going to dig farther south and get more powerful. And that's exactly what happened. You can see that the trough axis is now down by New Mexico, and it's bringing along that cold Arctic air with it. So as we move forward through Tuesday into Wednesday, you can see that trough continues to move farther east, and it's no longer moving south at this point. It's pretty much just going east, but it is bringing down that cold Arctic air into parts of New Mexico, northern Texas, Oklahoma, and this is really what's going to be driving this storm for the next few days. You'll see it's just going to move all the way off into Florida. So this is now looking at Tuesday night. You can see the center of the trough is right above northern Texas. Moving into Wednesday morning, it's moved off into Oklahoma, and the trough axis, you want to look towards the right of that. That's where the most rainfall is going to happen. That's where storms develop. And in this slide, that's right above Louisiana area. So that's where the storm's going to be happening. And you see that trough kind of weakens and moves off to the east. That's why the majority of the storm is going to be right at the beginning when it's Texas, Oklahoma area. Missouri could see some snow, and then Mississippi will see some rain as well as Georgia, but it won't be as powerful as when it was farther into the Texas, Oklahoma area. One interesting thing you notice as that trough moves off into the Atlantic, another even bigger trough starts to build in towards early Thursday morning. Let's just take a look at what this is going to do. Yeah, you see by Friday morning, that trough has now built into Texas, so we could see another storm later in the week. Let's take a look at what the vorticity is going to do for this storm. Vorticity is really the best thing to look at when you're trying to figure out how powerful a storm's going to be and when it's going to be its strongest. So I have a cold right now, so I'm going to try to make it through this video. You can see right now, there's a actually strong band of positive vorticity over New Mexico. Again, vorticity is the curl of winds. And positive vorticity is basically going to tell you where storms are going to develop and how powerful they're going to be. So you see as we move into Tuesday night, the center of that trough is right above northern Texas, and you can see those purple bands of vorticity. That shows where this storm is going to be its most powerful, so in the northeastern parts of Texas. Moving into Wednesday morning, you see now those purple bands are right above Louisiana, and you'll notice as the isobars get flatter, I'll say it that way, the vorticity really diminishes in power. Those purples are gone. Now it's just some areas where it's kind of orange, and that's because of that weakening trough. As the trough weakens, so is the vorticity, and so is the power and energy that the storm needs to develop and keep going. Let's take a look at that one trough that's going to be coming in later. Just going off vorticity, by the time it hits Texas, it's actually lost most of its power. So I'm thinking that storm on Friday, not going to be as big of a deal as I originally maybe thought as we saw that big trough building in. So let's look at the precipitation type and rate in inches per hour that this storm's going to bring. Right now, it's showing that there's already some rain and even some snow building in northern parts of Oklahoma area, and some rain in Texas as that low is just sitting right above the state. And then moving into Tuesday at about 6 a.m., that's when the low really strengthens and you see that snow in the northern parts of Texas. Remember, that's where that cold Arctic air was coming down because of that big trough. So this low, where it's going to be rain on the east side of the trough, because if you think about how a trough and a low pressure system spins, it's counterclockwise. So on that eastern side of the low pressure, it's going to be bringing up warm air from Mexico and the Gulf. So any precipitation is going to be in the form of rain. Whereas on the west side, that's bringing in that cold air down from the north. So that's where you're going to get some snow. And as we move into Wednesday night, you see it move through Louisiana. Kind of looks like it diminishes in strength as it moves through that area. Let's see what happens down in the Florida, Mississippi area. So this is starting Wednesday morning. That's when the low is right over Louisiana. See some areas of rainfall, 0.2 inches per hour. That's not bad. And then it actually looks like it strengthens again towards about Wednesday at maybe 8 in the morning. Not bad. And still some strength, 0.2 inches per hour as it moves into Florida. And let's see, by early Thursday morning, that low has moved off into the Atlantic. And then an interesting thing to look at is if it's going to move up the east coast and possibly cause a nor'eastern, or if it's just going to move off into the Atlantic and the damage will be done. So let's take a look at the 24-hour accumulated snowfall. So you see, this is right now, and it's showing that we're already getting some snow in parts of Oklahoma and even Kansas. 5 inches, maybe 6 inches in parts of Oklahoma. Again, that's because of that cold air that got brought down. Oh, look at that, 7.9 inches, 8.5 inches. That's pretty good for 24-hour accumulated snowfall. And then you'll remember, 7.8, this is early Wednesday morning. So by this time tomorrow, parts of Oklahoma could see 8 inches of snowfall. That's pretty good for this time of year, and for how south that is. And as we move into early Thursday morning, you see the warm air has really started to build in from the east side of that low pressure system, so snowfall amounts will drop down to about 1.5 inches. Let's look at the 24-hour accumulated precipitation. So in Texas, not showing too much at this point in time. This is right now, it's saying maybe 0.5 inches in the northeastern parts of the state. And then as that low really develops, you can see maybe 1 inch of rainfall in parts of southern Oklahoma to northern Texas. And then this is early Wednesday morning. Could see 1.3 inches in parts of Oklahoma. And as it moves off Louisiana, you're going to see more like 0.3 to 0.5 inches. Nothing too major, but it's something. And then that's going to move off. Let's see where it goes as it moves off. This is early Wednesday morning. By the time you're commuting Wednesday morning, Louisiana, be seeing 0.8 inches accumulated precipitation. And then remember, it actually strengthened again at one point. So Mississippi, you could be seeing, that's in the purple, so maybe 1 inch at some places. And Alabama could be seeing 1 inch as well. This is early Thursday morning. Let's go by the time you're commuting Thursday morning. There's some good rainfall off of Florida. So between the Thursday at 1 in the morning to Thursday at about 7 in the morning, Florida could be seeing maybe over an inch of rain in some places. And like I said, that storm's gonna move off into the Atlantic, and praying that it maybe drives up the coast and causes a nor'easter, because that'd be an exciting forecast to make. I hope you learned something in this video. Please leave a comment for ways that I can get better in the future so that I can provide more value to you in upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.